standard is the standard. We set the standard.
Woo! That is right. We are back. Prime Time Beef Huddle with your host, DJ KDuB Omaha, where we are welcoming the offensive coordinator, offensive line coach, Coach Cain. Welcome to the show.
Welcome, CJ!
As you guys know, all of you know, I got Coach Negron here, and we greatly appreciate those who continue to support what we do. And today our show is brought to you by, I'll let you talk, Coach. You got the sauce.
Yes.
And we got it here on the set. If you want to go ahead and show what we got. Ooh.
Grandma Foster's barbecue sauce, locally made, no preservatives, all natural. It's delicious. You can find it in restaurants and locations throughout Omaha. You can also buy it retail. I think you can get it at Hy-Vee and stuff like that. Really, really good. Dedicated sponsor of the team now. I think this is year 3, maybe even longer than that. So really excited that they're back for 2026. And we'll have samples available at FanFest. I'm not giving any of these away because
this is what we do at a game, right? Yeah. We just throw them out.
And Coach, just remember,
that went real well.
Grandma Foster's barbecue sauce is so good.
Yes,
because Grandma loves you.
Grandma,
ooh,
that's right. Oh my God, it's a lot going on in this office right now.
There is. But we appreciate those who are tuning in and joining us for episode 3 as we get going. Just a couple days ahead of FanFest 2026. I want to throw that out there before we get to know Coach Cain. Of course, as you guys know, we will be where? Voodoo Taco. We will be at Voodoo Taco this Saturday from 3 until 5. Make sure to come check us out. It is downtown at their Harney location, 1102. We will be there. There will be, player signings. I'm not going to tell you who. You'll have to see. Jerseys that the fans can vote on.
Yes, we're going to have our jersey vote for 2026. Excited about that. They look good.
You'll get to meet Coach Cain, get to know him a little bit. What I would like to label this, the man, the player with many hats coming back to be the man of the offensive line coaching. And I appreciate even the owner's still in the house, just making sure that we know he's here, and Ricky Burtz for allowing us to do what we do here on the Prime Time Beef Huddle. So we need you guys, though. We need you, the fans, to come out. And just like this show, what we really love about it is the interaction part. Today, for some wonderful prizes, I got 3 questions at the end of the show. Yep. We'll let fans decide and comment, as that is when we will look at comments and stuff like that. And I learned that from the first show. Those who watched the first show, I don't know if you know this, but I had fans even tell me, don't have the comments showing until it's that time, because Ricky is watching the comments when he was next to us.
Yes, that's true.
And if he's not in on the show, then he's commenting. And so we don't want to hear that until we need to.
That's right.
But we appreciate you fans sharing, liking, and following what we do here with the Omaha Beef. FanFest, we'll see you Saturday. I think there'll be a DJ.
Prime
dancers. Prime dancers,
yeah.
Players,
coaches. Live interviews.
You know what you can also do, though, is you can ask questions that aren't regular, where you're at the field trying to get to know them. I think you made a great point of that. Well, Coach Cain, welcome to the Omaha Beef. This is my second year. This is your first month, and I'm pretty sure you've already went through a lot in this last month.
Yeah.
Tell the folks where you're from and kind of where you began your football, just playing in general.
Yeah, so born and raised in North Carolina, grew up there, played college football out at Catawba College, graduated, started Coach Negron's taking up the whole.
That's most of the time I'm out.
He is. I think we're looking good.
Yeah. So graduated, started playing indoor football, played for a couple years. Pandemic shut everything down. Took a couple years all-star college coaching, and then, decided to get back in it in 2023. So I met Coach Negron, played for 3 more years and, just retired about a month, 2 months ago. So here we are.
Well, welcome to the team. Coach Negron, you obviously have brought in someone for your offensive line. You brought him in to help you with the offensive coordinator.
Yep.
What was it about Coach Cain that really, besides knowing you from playing, I think there's got to be more to it that brings someone in? I mean, you've had a lot of players through your years. Something stuck out about Coach Cain. What was it for you?
So, I think that first off, we'll talk about him as a player, right? So he's always been a leader in my locker room. He's always been a guy that I could go to. There's going to be select players that coaches will speak with and have relationships with that kind of can give me an insight on the pulse of the team. Coach Cain's always been that for me. He's kind of a confidant or someone that I could lean on besides the coaches on my staff in the locker room that really could give me some insight on what the guys are doing, what they're thinking, the direction of the team that's going and stuff like that. I think what people don't realize, and I'll let him talk about it more, is he's been a coach, right? So he coached in college. He coached at Barton College for several years. And so you take that coupled with his knowledge of the indoor game. He had a very successful career in the indoor game. He's won championships, been on teams that had championship pedigrees. He's just the right fit. And look, there are things that I want to expand on offensively that I think we can do even better than we did, on our little run last season. Coach Gregory was a huge asset for me on the offensive side of the ball. He's going to, move on to other coaching opportunities and things like that. Hopefully, close some things closer to home. He's living in North Carolina. Coach Cain and his wife made a commitment to move to Omaha. That was a huge thing for me. So, I can tell he's already all in, right? Like within a month of retiring and me talking to him about coaching, he's here with me in the trenches in Omaha, helping me build what we want to build for 2026. It's a no-brainer. So.
Well, Coach Cain, of course, making the move, these are things that you've decided prior to this, right? You've already, like you said, played some arena football. You've done some coaching. How do you make the distinguish between playing and coaching and decide that, okay, I have that passion, I want to give it to others? How is that for you, making those big decisions?
Yeah, so, it was tough to give it up as a player, but I always knew that day was going to come. And I always told myself, and I talk to my wife about it all the time, like I never wanted to be the guy that played past like his prime, essentially. Like I didn't want to be a guy that was playing just for the heck of it and, collecting paychecks and being a detriment to his team. So, the way I finished my career in Wheeling and, things weren't as great as, I was hoping they would be. I was hoping we would have a chance to compete for a championship, and we didn't. But, I played my last game, had a 26-point comeback against Columbus, and was a part of an epic locker room moment, and that was a great way to go out. Not everyone gets to say they won their last football game. So for me, it was the right time. My body playing this position since I was 6 years old, through high school, college, junior high, Pop Warner, playing 5 years professionally. It was just I hit the point where it was time, and I'd always, I've been a coach for the last 7 years through high school, a couple of different D2 programs. So I always had an interest in being an indoor coach. It was a couple years ago, Coach Negron brought it up to me. Then, when he was the head coach in Carolina in 24, he's like, when you retire, you're going to come coach for me. I'm like, shut up, coach. No, I'm not. And then, when the season ended, some things kind of fell in place, and here I am. I'm always going to have the passion for the game. That's never going to leave me. But, it was time for me to move away from, running my face into somebody and, going QB sneak on the goal line. Like it was time to start giving back more to the game and, treat my body better and, being able to have a long run versus just, continuing to play and move around and never really getting that fulfillment. I didn't want to be a guy that just chased the championship as a player. So now it's time for me to give back. And the great thing is, too, being in this position, there's a lot of guys on our team and even other teams in this league and throughout other leagues that I played against. So I have a unique understanding of what it takes to play at a high level and play in this league. And, I think that's going to be pretty cool to be on the other end of that wall and not, have to worry about some of the stuff you have to worry about as a player.
Here, so what he's telling me is there's not going to be a Cain push tush going on at the goal line.
I mean, there might be, but he's not going to be the one pushing it.
He could be the one
calling
calling
in my
it.
headset,
Gotcha.
telling me we're going to
Get that push tush.
Yeah, I don't have to, I don't have to be the one on all fours trying to crab it to an end zone, but someone else will.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'm going to ask both of you the same question, and of course it's going to come at a different aspect, right? Coach Negron, you have a coach that's similar to some of the age of your linemen. Okay, when you're coaching like high school or even coaching college, of course he was closer to their age, but not at their age. How does that affect your locker room or help your locker room? And then for you, Coach Cain, once he's done, what is your feelings? Because you obviously grew that coaching at college where they're kind of close to your age, but they're not right where you are. And some of the players, of course, we have, hopefully, I guess we'll see if Junebug comes back. We have Patrick who's coming back, So when we see some of those players, they're his age. They're not just the ones that – so that respect kind of isn't always there. It has to be earned a lot harder maybe. Yep. What do you think?
So from my perspective, right, I think that just knowing him and knowing how he was as a player and the relationships he had with players as a leader in locker rooms, I think he'll be the voice of reason a lot of times. I mean, look, everybody knows my expectations are through the roof. My delivery, because I'm so intense about my expectations, is not for everybody, right? CJ knows me, so he'll be able to translate that when it comes out in ways that are maybe not so favorable. And look, that's why you have a coaching staff. I think that the coaching world, and I would hope any well-respected head coaches in our business would say this: you're only as good as your assistants, right? You're the head coach, but your assistant coaches and the people that support you and are behind you are the ones that really help you build the program, right? So when I bring someone like CJ Cain in, it's because, again, I'm looking to continue to elevate the program, right? And he's a firm believer in what we're trying to do here, and that's important to be a coach on my staff. I think he's going to decide what type of coach he's going to be with pro athletes on his own. You mentioned respect. He's already earned the respect, all right? He's been playing this game for a long time. He's played it at a high level. He's played a very difficult position. He's been in all sorts of different environments. One thing I love about Omaha is when I do get to bring people here that have been with me through my journey, I get to reward them by bringing them here because we just do things the right way. I was having a conversation with somebody earlier today about just do things the right way. Well, here, it may not be perfect, and everybody may have ways that they want to do things, but one thing I do know is we just do things the right damn way, right? So I get to bring him here to that environment and watch him thrive. And whatever kind of coach he comes as a result of me putting him in an environment where he can be successful, that's going to be what's best for the program.
I really, really like that part of it and just understanding that aspect from the head coach. Now, when you look at yourself and thinking of it in that aspect, because maybe you haven't thought of it. Maybe you just thought, I'm good. I'm coach.
Yeah.
What's been kind of your mind, and how does that adjust when you hear that it's not college kids, it's pros that are your age?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing is, like Coach said, I'd like to think that, not to, I guess, toot my own horn or whatever, but I do like to think that I was pretty well respected in locker rooms. And, some of the guys that we have here, Reggie Patrick, you mentioned, like him and I played together, back in 2019. Reggie and I have talked frequently, Brandon Munoz, him and I played against each other his rookie year. Him and I were teammates this past year. Tavin Fitzgerald, him and I played together for 2 years. We're really close friends. But, I think it it really boils down to creating that fine line between, hey, we can still be, friends, but we're also coach and player. I mean, you look at the NFL, you look at, some of the highest level, and guys are still friends with their coaches. I'm not saying that, it's going to be like how it was when we were players or anything like that, but I do think that I don't think it's going to be as tough of a transition as some may think. I do think that if you have a strong will, kind of like how I do, it's pretty easy to kind of distinguish those lines. But also it makes it a lot easier whenever a guy's going through something, because and it's no knock. There are coaches in this league, there's coaches in this profession that haven't been there. They haven't sat there when, that paycheck's a couple days late. Or they haven't been there whenever, girl trouble going on back home, or you're behind on this bill because you're waiting on this. Like, these are things that I feel I can add to our locker room. Coach Negron does a great job leading this team, and Ricky is going to make sure we have every tool to be successful. But, some of these guys, most of these guys that are on our roster, if they haven't played in Omaha, they're coming from a situation where there was some sort of turmoil during their season. So being able to be that voice as a guy who's been through organizations that did it right, been through great years, been through lean years, been through, all just about anything you could think of. I've seen it, dealt with it, know people who've dealt with it. So, it's that voice of reason. It's that calming voice whenever, coach is on his amped up mode during the game or during halftime, and, being able to be that, hey, all right, here's what coach is trying to say. Here's what coach is trying to do, because, for a lack of better terms, the last few years of my career, I've kind of been a coach. I've helped coach the offensive line. I've helped coach the indoor game, arena game, through practices and things like that. When we had situations in our previous organization where we were down some coaches or this or that, like, it fell on me to kind of coach the position group, and it was fine. Like, I enjoyed doing it, but I think it helped prepare me for these moments. And then, playing up and wheeling, same thing, like carrying a lot of that, weight of saying, like, hey, like, here's how we should practice. Here's how we should do this.
Where the culture's just not set.
Yeah. Like,
helping set the culture, or as we like to say, the standard, right?
I can simplify this for you. Coaches set the standard. Players implement the culture, right?
Yeah.
So you can only implement the culture when you truly know what the expectations are. What happens in our game, and this is, again, where I say we do it the right way in Omaha. Unfortunately, position coaches throughout indoor football aren't paid very well, right? So in a lot of cases, you have coaches that are maybe, they're doing a full-time job during the day, or they're doing other coaching opportunities. They may not be at practice every day. So what happens when a position group doesn't have a coach at practice? Somebody within that player group has to step up, right? So for years, CJ's group in some cases may have not had a coach present. Well, someone had to step up and lead the group. He's led the group. So when he says he's been prepared, it's not lip service. I've watched him coach a group for half a season because we were missing things, coach, right? So I think the transition's going to be easy. The only difference is he'll be coaching without a helmet on, for the first time in his career.
And the great thing about my career is I learned, man, from so many good coaches, whether it be coaching college football, high school football, the indoor game. I've been fortunate to play for coaches who have been at the mountaintop. Me and Coach Negron had mutual respect for Coach Fuller down in San Antonio, and that man gave me an opportunity 2 years off the couch to come in, play 16-game Ironman football season in 2023, and we were right on the cusp of winning a championship down in Jacksonville. Like, he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to give me an opportunity. And, but seeing how he operated, seeing how Coach Negron operated in 2024, being a part of his beginning journey. I mean, he'd always been an assistant coach and, worked his way and clawed and fought. But to be a part of his first ever opportunity as a head coach is a special moment. but also it came with a lot of, hey, CJ, how can we get better at this? How can we do this? Even sometimes when he didn't want my opinion, I gave my opinion. But I feel like that's what a leader does. Sometimes it's tough conversations. He had tough conversations with me, and it helped us grow our relationship. And then, unfortunately, we weren't able to play. I wasn't able to play for him this past year due to circumstances, in a previous organization and, just a whole bunch of stuff. But
you obviously earned the respect in that small time for them to totally understand. Well, the best part is there's also key, as you might call, pit crew. And I say that because I got the opportunity a while ago, thanks to this guy, to interview a former Husker and former NFL player, JoJo Dillman.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, your surroundings matter. Who's around you, your constant connection, you're feeling at home. And I also want to bring him on to here because he's a great sponsor of the Omaha Beef. And I think for what especially with the players as they do get older, these sponsors are more important than people know. So we're going to go ahead and welcome in and bring to the stage Brian Inselman of Achieve Physical Therapy. Brian, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to the show, and we greatly appreciate you
How
and
you guys
what
doing?
you've done for the Omaha Beef. Of course, you've kind of gotten to know Coach Negron here these past couple months, and you guys can find Brian and his team down off of 48th and 370, just taking care of athletes in so many ways, whether it's cryo, whether it's I know you guys do leg therapy, workouts. I mean, you guys have so many options. And, of course, Coach Cain, you're learning who our sponsors are and what they can do. But, I mean, someone like Brian, you know how important he is for a team, and especially for those linemen and those legs. Brian, welcome to the show. And tell us kind of what interested you and why you picked up being a part of the Omaha Beef.
Well, thank you guys for having me. I've always had a passion for football. I played actually throughout my whole career, through college, and then I even attempted to play some arena ball when I got out. But I've always had a passion for helping people and helping them to improve and get better. And I've done that through different sports. I go from the youth sports, high school sports, and any college sports, any opportunities that are around here, and then even pro sports too. So. When the opportunity came to work with the Omaha Beef, I was like, absolutely, we'll see how this works and make this work. And so it's been a great opportunity to get that in there. We've been with you, I think, 3 years. We're going on our 4th year maybe for this next one. So we're excited to have you guys all back and continue to help support and give you guys all the love we can and help you guys stay healthy throughout the year. And actually, the other thing is we give an opportunity for the players to come in away from football. In a sense, they get a kind of a home away from home, so they're not in the hotels, and they can get a chance to do somewhere and do some things that are positive for them. So,
well, I mean, I had you when I first started this whole podcast journey 4 years ago. We were in a baseball place, and you hear in the background, ping, ping, ping.
Right.
And we're sitting there talking, and the one thing that he really said, and when you get someone with the energy of JoJo Dillman explain to you that your physical therapist is a therapy part for you. He's almost like your barbershop, but for the rest of your body, and I think people don't understand those little things of how mentally it can be for these players outside. You brought up great things about the experience of not being at home, not knowing what you're going to do for money, because we said it on multiple shows. These players and coaches, everybody has to do more than what you think and see on the field on Saturday.
Yeah, that's why, something like this partnership is it's top tier. I mean, I'm a firm believer of it. Being a former player, if a team doesn't have something like this, red flag. I mean, you need a company that's going to take care of your guys, give your guys opportunities to perform week to week. Because at the end of the day, for 95, heck, probably even higher, 98% of these guys, whether it be the NAL, IFL, AF1, doesn't matter. This is going to be the highest level of football that majority of these guys will play for one reason or another. And their body is their paycheck. If they can't play on Saturday or Friday or Sunday or whenever we play, they're going to be back at home working, their 9 to 5 and, watching football pass them by. So having something like this where our guys can take care of themselves and be out in the community and be, accessible for people to see really kind of makes everyone understand what it's like. It peels back that curtain between player and reality, because we are, look, we break down, our bodies get beat up. We're playing on carpet that's this thick with that much padding,
hitting the wall.
So those bumps and bruises are real. It's not just scoring 65, 70 points on a Saturday. It's still like, hey, I played 50, 60 plays on a Saturday and my body's beat up. And having a place like this, man, I think is
let me say this to you, Brian, because we haven't spoken in a while, but I want to make sure that I give you this absolutely shameless plug right here on the podcast. Everybody knows I'm extremely confident in my mental abilities on the football field on Saturday, but I make a lot of dumb physical decisions, chest bumping players and running into people I shouldn't be running into and things like that. So I hurt my shoulder after the Sioux City game here.
He's not 21 no more.
I was really excited. And I went to Achieve. By the way, people, if you're watching, get to Achieve, check out the facility. It's amazing. They have a turf field, all the weights and exercise equipment that you can think of, and just a full recovery suite. So hurt my shoulder, got my first real stim and compression experience. Your staff put my shoulder back to normal because I did everything to wreck it on the field out of excitement, right? So your staff's amazing. They're great. A lot of our players went there this past season for a multitude of different injuries and always walked out of there feeling better, feeling improved. You really did keep us going, man. It's a grind. The indoor season's a grind. It's unrelenting. There's not a lot of breaks. It's tough, especially, our players live in hotels and things like that. Housing's tough. You're away from home. You don't have all the resources necessary you might have when you're at home. So I want to make sure that by no means we minimize how important the work that you do for our team is. And I just want to say thank you personally. And then, of course, thank you for what you did for our team.
Well, real quick, so you're telling me we can't...
Yeah, I was on IR for the whole team.
You're telling me we can't air hug him or chest bump?
You can, because I'll go to Achieve. It's fine.
I'm going to have
right.
What's going to have to happen every time we score, which is going to be a lot this year, I'm going to have to get over the wall and grab him like a get-back coach so he doesn't end up on IR. I'd hate for the headlines on the NAL website to say, Coach Brandon Negron on 21-day IR.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Brian, how about this? These past 3 years, you said you worked with Omaha Beef. What's kind of the common thing that you're seeing across the board, just in Arena League, that might be different than your average football? And I say that because it goes back to exactly what Coach Cain said. They're not playing on very ideal circumstances on the field, and they're hitting a wall.
Right. I would say that wall is relentless. You're gonna. These guys are hitting that wall, and that's where you get the injuries that are just kind of a little bit more unique for the sport. These guys come in and they miss a tackle, and so they come in and hit the side of their head, so they get numbness down their arm, and it's because this issue that they jammed into a wall, their neck got jerked one way or the other, versus like when you're coming into just head-on-head collision type thing, or at least as far as shoulder to shoulder, but or guys getting pushed over the wall and then they get hit. They hit they'll hit the seats back there and they get turned one way and then another way. And so things get all twisted up in a way that you would think, oh, he should be fine. And all of a sudden he comes up, something is not right. So you see a lot of that. We see everything though. We see neck, shoulders, elbows, hands, knees, hips, backs, ankles. We see it all the time. And, so it's like my goal and my staff, and I'm so glad you meant my staff loves having you guys in there too. It's honestly like it's a great environment. One, we have a great environment anyway. At least I'm going to plug myself, but I think we have a great environment anyway. But when we have the guys start coming in, there's many of these guys, they'll come in daily, just one to get a workout in, just hang out with the staff and the crew, do some compression therapy, get their body set up with some red light. And they're not even going through actual physical therapy where they're one-on-one with my therapist. So, and that just, hopefully that environment still continues and that they feel safe and invited to come. And so, like I said, I know they're in hotels all the time. So this is giving them a little bit of a home away from home and give them a chance to be, in a sense, away from football to where that they can just be a part of the community too a little bit. But we see all kinds of things. And my goal is always to get everybody back as quickly as we possibly can and better than what you were before you actually got injured. It's always been my goal and the goal of my whole staff. So, and we're constantly just trying to find new ways to make it happen and making sure that we don't miss anything. We don't miss a beat on all that stuff too. So any chance we can get them in, we get them in, take care of them, and get them out as quickly as we can because we know the demands of the game and the sport. Everyone in there, actually, all my therapists have played one sport or another, and they understand that too. So that's the other thing that you'll find with us is that we understand what the demands of a sport need at a high level. So we're trying to get everybody ready to go at that level too.
Well, here's one thing I'll get with you. You're, of course, a guy who sits right behind the players. So you're right there with you and your crew. How do you kind of separate yourself to, one, not just go, I've got to go into action, I just seen this guy go down, and two, to know that, okay, I'm going to see that guy, I noticed this. How does that go for you? Because I know you're all about the athletes. You're all about the players, and you enjoy the game so much, but you respect the fact of what's actually happening.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously there's kind of, I'm real good. Good relationships with all your staff on there, as well as, like, for example, Jake, your trainer, and then you got your docs that are right there on the sideline too. So they are the ones that are going to check them out first. Obviously, when there's something that happens, they need to take a look at what's going on. And then depending on what's going on, and if I've seen them in the clinic already, sometimes there's already that relationship. And so then they'll, hey, Jake, Brian's right there. Can he take a quick peek or do whatever? So there's times I've jumped over and even at halftime, jump in the back there and worked on a guy or two and took care of some things. I mean, you're right. I'm there to kind of help as much as I possibly can. And it's sometimes hard to hold myself back because I'm going to jump out there anytime I can. You need it. So that's why we're there. That's what we love to do. But we do respect the fact that, like, there's a whole protocol that you kind of go through, and Jake is the first one. And I want to make sure that he takes care of what he needs to. And if he knows that there's something that I can assist with, he's even called me back to take a look at something too. So we're always accessible. So, like, yeah, you go out there and do a chest bump with someone, coach, and you jam that shoulder up again, I'm right there. You just let me know.
He's right there, boss.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm going to try to keep the chest bumps to a minimum in 2020.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you a question, Brian.
Yeah.
For our athletes that are watching now, what are some things that you would suggest for pro athletes in their off season that they can do just for some body preservation? So obviously in the off season, they may not necessarily have access to achieve. They may not have facilities like that back home. What are just some tips and things that you would suggest athletes do, especially those that may be, aging, whatever it may be? How do you keep your body preserved in the off season so that you kind of come into the season fresh? Yeah.
So, I've worked with quite a few NFL players too, right? And so then they kind of have that same thing. And the off season is when you heal. The off season is when you take care of yourself. And if you're missing out on that, your career is short and you're done. And so doing the things that are necessary, like as far as, one, you're always in the weight room, making sure you strengthen your body, getting that ready, looking at making sure you keep good range of motion, making sure your body is limber. If you've got some aches, pains, things like that, see somebody that can assist you or do some things like do some rolling out, foam rollers, just doing some stretching type stuff. I've taken the guys through some fascial maneuvers. Those are really good. We do pictures with everybody for Egoscue posture assessments. So they can start doing those to get their body in the right alignment. The better your body is in the right alignment, the more prepared you are, the better your range of motion. Your body will be much, much better overall. You'll last a lot longer. You'll move a lot better. You become more explosive. If you're not doing those simple little things, even like just like little stretches type stuff or whatever you might need to do to kind of get everything ready so that you move in the best way you possibly can. If you're not doing those things and taking care of those little aches and pains now, they're not going to help you as you go through it. You're not going to bounce back as quickly as you want. You jump into a season and you get injured. Some of these can be, like you mentioned earlier, they could be season-ending injuries. And there's simple little things you could have took care of in the off season. So it's making sure you're doing those simple little exercises, doing some band work, shoulder exercises, hip exercises, working on range of motion. Those are things that I would look at. If you don't have access to me personally too, the other thing I will tell you, we have our Instagram and our Facebook has tons of posts that have all these different exercises, things you can do to make sure things are working the way they're supposed to. And you look at that, hips are huge, hips for low back. So you got your upper back, everything. I mean, you start doing some of these exercises, your body will start moving a lot better. And then you can start moving that weight you want to pack on that muscle you need for when it does come time to play a season.
Well, what I appreciate, Brian, is, of course, you guys are sharing the information for people who aren't athletes as well. So we want to make sure that all of our Omaha Beef fans that are watching, go check out their Facebook, go check out their Instagram. We'll make sure that we tag it right. And I know that we have a couple times because they are going to offer you things beyond football. It's not just about football players or football coaches, doing chest bumps. Brian, let them know how they can find you besides obviously Facebook, Instagram, and then what all services you offer as we get you out of here on this.
Yeah, we're at Achieve is the name of our physical therapy place. We're at 42nd and 370 on the south side there in Bellevue. Our phone number 402-502-4678. Call us. You could check us out on our website. It's achieveNDPT.com. I believe you have it scrolling across there on the bottom.
Yes, sir.
And then you check out our Instagram. Like I said, it's at Achieve _ I think PT Sports. We have that in there too. And those are ways you can always send us a message there. We have, and you pretty much, I'm the one who's going to answer it. So I'll send back a message to get back to you any way I can. And the things that we do, I would tell you, like Coach kind of mentioned, we're not your traditional PT, at least is what I would kind of firmly believe. You walk into the place, it's not the white walls, little elevator music playing, white coat type place. No, you walk in, music's blaring. You got a big field open. You got people working out with weights. You got everybody laughing, having a great time, greeting you, but taking care of business. That energy, that environment, I'm huge with energy. And if you're not pumping that energy somehow, getting everybody lifted up, it's hard to heal properly. So we do the big technique we do a lot is muscle activation. That's when you mentioned JoJo Doman. He was coming up for that. That's what he initially came up for. I got guys coming from all around. Again, like a lot of athletes will fly me out somewhere or they'll come in to get that. We do dry needling, we do cupping, we do blood flow restriction training. If you have something going on and you're not doing that, you're probably missing out a ton as far as recovery and maximum muscle gain and gaining the strength back that you have been losing. And then like I said, we have access to a full weight room. We can do anything. We get squats, clean, snatch, deadlift, whatever you want, all the lifts you would do for your sports. We're there to try to coach you back through that so that when you go back to your sport, you've already been doing that. You know how to get ready back into it. And so now when you go back, there's no lag time. You're ready to go. And then they're looking at you like, I thought you were injured. And then you come back just crushing it. We have red light therapy as well, which that actually helps body and the cellular level recover faster. And then we do compression therapy, which Coach mentioned too. So that helps a ton with just getting inflammation out, massaging the muscles, making your body feel better, recover faster.
How about you guys' morning workouts? I know you do some group things.
Oh yeah, we have. We do have.
Isn't a solo dolo, and you need someone that can motivate. And I could tell you from personal experience, you're gonna be motivated, and if you're not, you just don't have a pulse, and they'll get that going too with the compression.
Oh man. Yeah, we have fitness classes too. Like we have a full gym basically. So we do have fitness classes throughout the day, 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 9 a.m., and then 4:30 p.m. So you come in, hit the weights, do some workouts. You got a coach watching you the whole time, making sure everything's going right, but then pushing you to like the next level you want to. So like Kendall was mentioning. So you want to come in and hit that up. We also have a nutrition club where we do protein shakes and herbal teas. A lot of the guys will come in. That's a great way to recover. Get that protein you need. If you're not getting your protein, boy, you come on in and check that out. Get you some great protein shakes. We also have creatine, which that's another way you need that, not only just for building muscle, but also for cognitive function and just brain health too. So if you haven't heard of that, you need to come talk to me about it, because I'll tell you how that helps in many facets, not just for men playing football, but for women who just at home taking care of kids, aging people anyway. They all need it. So we try to do the full gamut. That's what we kind of add that in. We want to take care of you from head to toe, from top to bottom, and making sure we're hitting all aspects of your health and fitness in one form or another. My goal, like I said, is just to make it a part of your life, make it fun, make it enjoyable, but also you got to put in work, and nobody shies from work when you're in there. And that you will have to understand. You'll see that. And if you don't want to do the work, we're not the right place for you. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, Brian, thank you again.
Thank you, Brian.
Beef.
Yeah.
And thanks for joining the show. So we
yeah.
can share what you guys do, because without you guys, as Coach Cain said, I don't know what people are thinking when they don't have a locked in physical therapist like you guys and everything that you guys offer. So thanks again. Taking time away from your family, share your guys' story. And remember, go check out Achieve Physical Therapy down on 42nd and 370. I don't know. I get those 42nd, 48 separate.
You're good.
It's on the south side. You won't miss it. It's a big building, like Coach said. There is no white walls that you're going to go into a room and he's going to just go, okay, this is all we got is this room. You're going to go into a whole almost arena. I would call it arena, because you could do some of the hanging, you could do some bands, you could do.
We practice there. It would be
You
a
could
limited
host
practice,
some
but we could host
practice.
a practice. Yeah.
Well, we've done some quarterback training, some throwing, and we've done
You've
some
got enough
stuff
room.
in there too.
Brian, I'll see you next week. I want to talk about a creatine regimen, so I could swap out the energy drinks for creatine. So let's do that.
Absolutely, come on in. I'll definitely be happy to help you about that.
Sounds good, man.
All right, looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
Man, I tell you, the importance of coaches, the importance of sponsors, the importance of people that are part of your regiment, just to be a part of your team, to take care of everybody. Coach Cain, that was kind of your real one-on-one with someone like Coach Brian out there. What do you feel now, kind of getting a little more background for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like he's got everything figured out. I love the fact that we have him on the show, and that we had, we're going to have more partners on shows, because it really goes to show that it takes a group. Like, it's not just Coach Negron. It's not just, Coach Negron, me, and Coach Loftus. Like, it takes us. It takes Ricky. It takes the whole staff here.
Jeff,
everybody. It takes all of our partners. It takes Achieve. It takes literally everyone. It takes the best DJ in the NAL.
You want to be married still, right?
Yeah.
It takes a wife too,
Yeah.
right? That has really picked up on the media.
She's watching.
You guys will see her out and about helping us with the reels. If you're not liking Where's the Beef? We did our first one last week. The food, make sure to check that out, because it's just really connecting with our sponsors, because without them, there is no beef. There is no what we love to do, the game of football. But Coach Cain, what's some of the things, if I'm someone that's just getting to know you, what's kind of your stuff away from the field? What's some things that interest you, and how do you decompress and get back to normal when it's been kind of those seasons?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really. My wife laughs at me all the time.
Hey, for those that aren't here, she's just going.
Yeah, she laughs at me all the time.
Picking up the sticks.
I don't have
college football.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a ton of hobbies.
Go ahead, give them your gamer tag.
Yeah.
Let them know. Go ahead. Go ahead. Someone's gonna call you. Someone wants to play you.
Honestly, I just had to restart my Xbox, so I don't even know off the top of my head. But no, honestly, I watch football in the off season, throughout the fall. I go to the gym quite a bit. I'm just. I don't do normal stuff. I don't go,
He has no hobbies.
Yeah,
if anyone has any
hobbies.
Any hobbies?
Man, I don't have no hobbies
For
either.
all of us, we're on a hobby search right now.
Yeah, so I mean,
Hobbies.com.
Comments.
Yeah.
Put in the
Put
comments.
the best hobbies in the comments. Get
What
the
is
coaches
your
out of their
hobby?
house.
What is your hobby? You know?
But so yeah, it's just football. I mean, talking to guys that are coming in, answering phone calls whenever guys want to come here, taking my dogs on a walk at night with my wife, and that's about it. I've only been here about a month, so I haven't got to experience all of Omaha yet. So,
Well, I got some people speaking in the comments. We got Nick Carver says there's golf.
terrible at golf. I mean, look, I'll put it to you like
hold
this.
on.
If I hit- if I-
Stand up so
if-
they see the frame.
If I hit the ball,
Stand up with the frame.
if I hit the ball, it's gone.
What
But-
golf club is going to be for this guy? Come on, man.
If I hit the golf ball, it's gone. But there's like a 70-30 that I'm just going to whiff, get mad, and then just get in the car.
Oh, man, you got, we got former player Trench Boy is what he goes by, Jew. He just says, Brian is the best person to get you back and keep you in shape, ready for your, with the Chiefs. So I appreciate those who are tuning in for
And
that.
I just want to add to that. We talk about partners drive the continued movement of the team. I'd also say to players that are have multiple offers and making decisions, right? Whenever you're looking at a team, and CJ kind of alluded to this, look at the intangibles that they have. We all do the same thing. You're all going to play football. We have a field and helmets and pads. You're all going to play football. What happens when the game is over? What is your meal plan? What is your housing plan? What is your recovery plan? What is your training plan?
Which I think is something that, like, I
We
feel
do that better.
I can add to what we're doing
Yeah.
here because, look, like I said, I've been through good and bad and everything in between. So when guys are hitting me up, it's like, don't, not to say anything negative, but, as a head coach, your job is to get guys here. Your job is to build the team in your image, how you want the team to look. As an assistant coach, my job is to try to keep as many things off of coach's plate as possible. So if guys are like, what's housing like? Do we have recovery places? Do we have food? Do we have this? Do we have that? Like, they're going to trust if I'm here, if I uprooted and moved out here, it's not because it's a bunch of BS.
Well, I like that you brought that up. Former host of the Prime Cuts, that was the Beef podcast. Once again, we gave a shout out to Matt Patton for all he has done for the Omaha Beef.
Big Matt.
He's got a good question here. We'll go ahead and show it to the fans. What can fans expect from a CJ Cain offense?
That's a great question.
So
That's a great offense, especially with you
yeah.
saying taking things off of his plate. Let's hear this. Let's see if it's the right answer.
three things that Omaha Beef fans can expect from our offense in 2026. One, we're going to be physical as hell. I mean, in the trenches, in the run game, our offensive line is going to get after people. We're going to protect the quarterback. Okay, I encompass that all in one. We're going to have a physical running game. We're going to be unique. We're going to have some stuff, that defenses are going to have trouble carding up and preparing for week to week. That's the first thing. Second thing, we're going to do what you're not good at. If you can't cover our skill guys, and trust me, we're going to have the best receiving core in the NAL. If you can't guard our skill guys, we'll air it out. If you can't stop the run, we're going to run the ball. It's going to be a long day for you. Okay, and then third thing, we're going to have fun playing football. Like, too many times it gets lost, especially at the professional level. Everyone gets so, uptight. Like, it's football. We're playing I'm coaching a kid's game. These guys are playing a kid's game. Yeah, we get paid for it. We're professionals. But at the end of the day, it's a kid's game, man. Like, we all started playing this game as kids, and we didn't play it for money. When I was 6 years old, I wasn't thinking about making money to play football. I was just playing football. I was playing with my friends. I was, going to practice. I was enjoying it. So we're going to get back to that.
Okay.
We're going to get back to enjoying the process because too many times people look at the end goal and don't look at the steps that it takes. We're gonna enjoy and embrace the grind. We're gonna make every tough situation. We're gonna face it head on. We're gonna overcome it. We're gonna laugh at it, and we're gonna dance in the locker room. Like, the energy we're gonna bring offensively is gonna be unrivaled. And you know what? That's going to make our defense play harder. That's going to make our special teams play harder. That's going to make our fans louder. And that's going to make it when we roll out there in the slaughterhouse week 1, tough. It's going to be tough for whoever's across the field. So I think those are the things to expect when you play the Omaha Beef in 2026. Physicality, explosiveness, and excitement.
Man,
If
if he did, I mean, look, you tell me what my hair is doing.
Look, that's why I brought him here, right? So we talk about what different coaches bring to the table, right? CJ has always been very focused on the process, right? And why that's good for me is because I am almost the opposite of that, right? I want the results and I want them now, right? When I came here, I made it very clear I wasn't coming here to change what we're already doing. I came here to enhance it, right? So enhancing that is continuing to win championships, right? But the process has to be respected. I have to have people on my staff like him, like Coach Loftus, that are invested in the process. What I do is I tell them, guys, this is what I want at the end of the season. There's a trophy behind this backdrop. That's what I want at the end of the season. Go get us there, right? And the other thing, and I'm gonna do this for the rest of the coaches in the world that are wondering, about play calling and this, that, whatever. My ego is in winning. I want to win. So for all those coaches that are out there bragging about this is my offense and this is this and this is that and wondering, stop. My ego's in winning. We're going to thump everybody. Whoever calls the plays on that given day, that's I care about winning. So CJ might be calling every single play in the headset. You don't need to know that. You just need to stop it, right? I may be calling every play on any given day. You don't need to know that. You just need to stop it. I'm building something here. We are building something here that is totally vested in winning on and off the field. That's why he's here. That's why the coaches that are coming back are here. That's why the athletes that we're bringing are here. That's why we have the partners that we have. Not everybody can partner with the Beef, right? You have to believe in being 100% in with us and a winning culture, both on and off the field. Your business has to present the winning culture. That's what I want everybody to understand. So yeah, I could go on social media and brag about everything I do individually. I'll save that for everybody else. I'll run with my guys. We'll create a process that's vested in the culture of winning, and we'll thump everybody, and I'll see you at the end of the segment.
I do have a funny Coach Negron story about him understanding the process. So this is 2 years ago. We're in Carolina, and we just played our first game of the season. Now, this was back when the NAL was a 14-game regular season, 2 playoff games. So it was 16 games. Our goal was 16 games. We play the first game. We lose by 1 point. We go out there to practice, like a Wednesday practice, and we're having a terrible practice. Coach Negron says, "This isn't how a championship team practice." Coach Fuller blows his whistle, stops the whole practice, goes, "Fellas, why the hell are we talking about the championship right now? We have 15 more games so we can even worry about playing for a championship. How about we worry about this Saturday?" And everyone looked at him and goes, "Fair enough." And from that moment on, the word championship did not
get brought up again.
did not get brought up again until we beat San Antonio in the playoff game to go to the championship.
Shout out to Coach Fuller, one of the best mentors I've ever had.
He finally walked in the locker room and said, "Fellas, we're going to the championship." That's the only time he mentioned that word.
He did.
Check mark.
He did.
Well, I mean, you talked about our crew. We want to give a shout out to JK, Personal Touch, as they create our intros.
Talk about winning.
Of course, I freaking didn't have the right one downloaded. I mean, we're still getting things together, but we can't do it without them. Make sure to check out their website. But today's game, I need to know that we're going to give away a barbecue sauce.
Somebody's going to want this.
And then one item. They got to get some beef sweat.
So I think we do a barbecue sauce in a hat.
Okay, barbecue sauce in a hat.
Yeah.
Barbecue sauce in a hat, and a barbecue sauce in a football.
I can give a football. Now, it won't be this ball. I'm just telling you.
Do not get us in trouble.
But we've got some championship footballs I'll give
I will say I saw one of the comments. Reggie, yes, if I have my way, we will run the ball quite a bit. I know Coach Negron. Look,
Reggie.
he's a pretty boy.
We've been together for a long time. What's wrong with the passing game, Reggie?
Look,
There's nothing wrong with it.
He doesn't understand, man. We're trying to get off the field. He wants to sit here and throw the ball and have incompletions. I want to have like
First down after
like,
first down. He wants to hear this. That's another Omaha beef. First down. That's what he wants to
We
hear.
don't need to hear that if we score on the first play of the game, throwing it 40 yards down. No, I will say this. You can record this. David Ross is going to have a season that the NAL is going to remember. I'm going to leave it at that. And that's going to be a product of bringing him in and expanding on our running game. We've got some other guys coming in at that position. But I'm telling you, everybody knows my affinity for my play. But David Ross, just watch.
All right. Well, we love you guys joining the huddle. And the best part is the fan interaction. Sometimes it's early, sometimes it's late. It's always at the end of the show. But today it is going to be 3 questions. So we need you to join the huddle. The first one is, what year did your Omaha Beef win the CIF championship versus Salina 50-30? And this is for fans only, for a hat and a barbecue sauce. We need you, if you got the answer. What year did the Omaha Beef win the CIF championship versus Salina? First one to comment that year gets the beef hat and the barbecue sauce. Come on, man. I already said you got to be someone that isn't connected. Jennifer Davis takes the answer. 2021. That is correct. Question number 2.
Way to go, Jennifer.
Way to go. Make sure to grab that from the beef office. Next one is the black hat and a barbecue sauce. That question is, what was the score of the 2024 NAL championship in which your Omaha Beef beat Sioux City in double overtime? Again, someone different.
Technically, I was a fan that year, so can I have the black hat and sauce?
No, you can't have the black hat.
I was watching from the.
What was the score is this question.
Ricky's saying you're
I'm wrong. Yeah, I could be. Who was
About the
it?
score?
No, about who won.
The year.
The year. What year was
Is
it?
there
Ricky's saying 2023.
2023. Who won that one?
no? So
No,
we're talking about the
Oh.
previous.
the previous
mother-
question.
Oh.
My mother put 2020.
Oh.
All right. So
Oh, looks like the first one to get 2023 was
Dawn Cain.
Dawn Cain, someone's mom.
My mom.
Jennifer, we made a boo-boo.
Yeah,
I'm
and
gonna
that
take care of you. I'll
happens.
message you. We made
That
a
happens,
mistake here.
you know, right? We try to be.
We wouldn't have known if Ricky
It-
wasn't
Hey, no, there was other people that said it, but that's okay.
My mind would be better if I'd be on my creatine regimen. From
That's
Achieve,
right.
then I
So,
wouldn't
who
have let
has
that
the
happen.
score? What was the final score of the Omaha Beef Boot versus Sioux City? Matt Patton put 47-46. Ding, 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 winner. All right. And the last one here, I know I have said this on a coach's show, so we're going to go in and see who gets. Oops, that's 2. Where did 3 go? Oops, sorry. Oh, there it is. Question, why is it not going? Oh, there we go.
Uh-oh. Technical
Oh.
difficulties.
Technical difficulties.
Bear with
I
us.
got it. There we go. There we go. Question number 3. This is for football. What year did Ricky purchase the Omaha Beef? And has the team won over or under 75% of his games since the purchase? Woo! That's a good one right there. Ooh, what year did Ricky Burtz purchase the Omaha Beef? You don't have to get both of them. That second one's just a bonus. I mean, it's for football over a hat. What is the
And
answer?
the
And the
barbecue.
barbecue sauce.
Can't
Don't
forget
forget
that.
our sponsor.
Yes.
Ooh, what year? Reggie, you can't answer it. I know we got plenty of people joining the huddle. Ooh.
Reggie, the last thing I want you doing in the offseason eating any barbecue. So,
yeah.
no.
Keep the
Although
barbecue
if
sauce.
you're gonna have barbecue sauce, it should be Grandma Foster's, which is all natural.
Oh, Nick's not right with 2009. 2009 was not the year that Ricky purchased it. What year did Ricky purchase it? And was he over or under 75% wins of his game?
So how did the beef answer their own question? Wait, does it count?
Ooh. All right.
Come on, Jennifer.
Go ahead. What's the answer? 2017 and over.
No, that's not right.
What year did he purchase the team? What year did he purchase the team?
Guys, I'll give you a hint. Just go on like Wikipedia.
Yeah. You're all working way too hard.
Oh,
I'm Jennifer. I'm giving it to Jennifer.
Yeah.
October 24th, 2018.
Good.
And unfortunately, Ricky,
No, mother. He
we
did not
are
buy
at
in 24.
72%. We are under. We are at 72%. Unfortunately, that one that we ended on that we're not going to talk about anymore is going to change this next year. But remember, we appreciate you guys checking out the huddle. Get to know Coach Cain, the newest on the block of coaches. But you're going to see him, Coach Negron, Ricky, myself. You'll see our new media person that someone didn't even give a shout out when he was shouting out everybody but his own wife.
I said her name 7 times at least in one.
I remember my first beer, but we're going to enjoy tacos, food, entertainment, meeting some of the players that are coming back. And I hope you guys are as pumped up as we are, because I can tell you there's going to be some people in attendance signing some contracts. Some fresh signings. You're going to have a live stream into with the commissioner.
NAL commissioner, yeah.
NAL commissioner. So that will be up on the screen.
Yeah.
We'll have a couple interviews. And then there'll be a little bit of tunage going and all that down at Voodoo Taco, where we just did our first Where's the Beef?
Awesome. It was awesome.
Voodoo Taco downtown, 1102 Harney Street. Come see us. And always remember, every time we leave and every time we see you, remember, always say, go beef. Man, he can't even see your beef.
Oh.
What beef you got,
There we
bro?
go.
Go
There
beef.
it is. There it is. See you guys Saturday.
See ya.